both of these starting fives are really well rested, with Arizona and Oregon handedly taking care of their first-round matchup. Oregon beating Liberty big, and Arizona beating Akron big. Arizona, in fact, putting up 93 points, and Oregon putting up 81 points. James Breeding, his 18th tournament. It'll be DJ Carstensen to toss it up in his 20th tournament, and Matt Potter in his 13th NCAA tournament. And we are underway in the latest tip of the night here on this Sunday night. A spot in the Sweet 16 on the line.
Look at that.
Backdoor look. There's Angel with the flush.
A quick ball screen, swing the ball, you get Angel, and maybe that gets him going. He's been quiet these last two, just 5 points a game. He can be effective inside and out, but they need to get his motor going.
Mentioned the 93 points that Arizona put up against Akron, 5 in double figures. There were 10 dunks. They were absolutely fantastic. And the back down for Awaka. They're going to whistle it in a traveling violation, so a turnover on the first possession here for the Wildcats. Robbie, what are your keys to the game?
Well, there's no question Oregon wants this game in the 70s. When we talked to Dana Altman yesterday, he said that's where we need to have it. We talked to Tommy Lloyd. He said we need to play this in the 90s. So tempo going to be essential, and then certainly for Oregon, rebounding. Arizona, a phenomenal offensive rebounding team.
It is fascinating if you look at the final scores, and there's Angel. Once again, he's got all the 5 points here for the Oregon Ducks. If you look at the final scores in the Dana Altman era, it is 70 or under or 70 plus that has made a difference here as Caleb Love gets his first bucket.
Doing a great job of using his size, 2 feet in the paint. Great floater for 2.
He's not just a shooter. He can use his size. He can post smaller guards. He can get to the rim. He's got that floater. Really smart play by Caleb Love to get his offense going. 2,700
career points now for Caleb Love. And coming into tonight, top 4 in terms of active scores in the NCAA tournament. Bradley takes the contact. Look at that offensive rebound. Can't get the putback for Awaka.
Awaka doing a great job of crashing the boards. Got to take your time and finish that.
He's one of the best offensive rebounders in the country. It's going to be a challenge for Oregon to keep him off the backboards.
TJ Bama directing traffic. Keyshawn Bartholomew injured himself last year against Arizona. It was a season-ending, terrible lower body injury. And now he's back full circle. 5 seconds here to shoot. And Shellstad pulls. It's like he's back in the first round once again.
Well, he's shooting 42% from 3 off the bounce this year. Isolation player, late shot clock, he'll have the ball. Jackson Shellstad with a big shot early.
Had that shooting slump, shooting just 17% headed into the NCAA tournament in the 4 games leading into the tournament as Angel picks up the foul.
And that's what you do as a guard. You get the big on his heels, take your time, straight up, straight down, knocks down the 3.
I just thought, Jalen, he had kind of a look of confidence. When he came out for Liberty and he'd been struggling with that jumper, you could see that he felt like he was going to have a big game.
Well, him diving on the floor is definitely one of the moments of the NCAA tournament for sure. Catch a special presentation of Discovery's Naked and Afraid tonight after NCAA coverage, and tune in Sundays at 8 p.m. on Discovery for new episodes. Trey Townsend at the line gets 16 points in that first round win against Akron. A transfer out of Oakland. You know, he was basically on the Akron side. He understands the mid-major mentality going into the NCAA tournament. He was part of the Oakland team that upset Kentucky.
And both of his parents played there as well, Skip and Nicole.
Biddle's calling for it in the mid-post. As Tobe Awaka defending. It'll stay here. Biddle is a player that played 5 games last year. One of the 5 actually was against Arizona, but he had been haunted last season with injury and illness. Actually, that Arizona game in January was the last game that he played last year. Handoff here to Bamba. TJ Bamba elevating and rising for the dunk.
Terrific set play, turning the corner, finishing strong over the top.
I love that from Bamba. He's only shooting 45% on layups this year, so if you're missing layups, take it to the rim and hammer it.
Townsend, and Biddle gets a piece.
Biddle gets away with a goaltend there.
Blocks in 13 straight games now for Biddle, the 3 on the other way. Bradley coming off that 19-point performance in the first round. Love being hawked by Shellstad. Works his way around that ball screen short. And an offensive foul call. They're going to get a Waka over the back.
This is with authority here. TJ Bamba just coming right down Main Street. Tobe Awaka thinks he's just got to contest, and Bamba's turning it over, putting him on a poster.
Beat Arizona last year's Pac-12 championship, the last Pac-12 tournament to exist. Biddle in and out, the tip not there, the second tip not there. Oregon coming up empty-handed.
These Arizona guards, they love to get out in transition, have to get back if you're Oregon.
Henry Vesar, who has checked in, the redshirt sophomore, he'll come off the bench, put in about 21 minutes, averages about 9 points per game. Shellstad behind the back, Biddle pulls, not many of those that he's hit. 33% shooting, he's attempted over 100.
Two versatile 7-footers. For Arizona, you get a missed three. For Oregon, you get a made three on the other end.
Biddle will pick and choose his moments.
Well, he shot 39% from three in conference play, so he certainly is capable. Look at Shellstad's effort.
Shellstad.
Quick hands, he's off to the races against Lewis and lays it in.
I just love the electricity that he's playing with on both ends of the floor. Lisa, you mentioned the play where he dove after the ball right before the half against Liberty, and there a 50-50 ball going the way of Oregon.
Oregon with the quick 40-minute flight from Eugene on campus over to Seattle. Another turnover, 3 here for Arizona. Evans on the push. Shellstad can't finish. Evans gets it, and one coming.
And then forced turnover by Love. Oregon gets out in transition. Even though you missed the layup, it's a 4-on-3 break. Evans did a great job of finishing and following it up.
Well, just an explosive start to the game. Pick and pop. If Arizona's in the drop, that's going to be there for Biddle all game long. What a start for the Ducks. 17-4. Jackson Shellstad coming right at you.
Hey, what's up to Andy Katz here on the sideline?
Well, I'll tell you, Lisa, Jalen, and Robbie, sometimes the numbers just don't lie, because as Dana Altman and Tommy were telling us, and Robbie said this at the beginning, it's all about tempo. Because when Arizona scores 70 more points in the last 6 meetings against Oregon, they're 4-0. When it's under 70, Oregon's 2-0. So you could make the argument that Oregon right now is beating Arizona at its own game. And I will add one other thing. If the athletic directors are listening, Dana Altman said yesterday, he wants to play this series annually. Start it up, Oregon, Arizona. We'll see if it'll happen after this one.
It'd be great to see it happen consistently here for sure. I think both of these fan bases would love to see that happen. A foul there before the shot.
Well, Arizona has got to wake up here. I mean, off that free throw, Shellstad flies in there. He's made multiple effort plays in the first 5 minutes, steals a basket. And Arizona has got to get with it here.
Yeah, somehow they got to try to match the energy here of Oregon. The Ducks kind of following the lead of Shellstad. He's been fantastic. Biddle against Lewis. Bodying up the bigger player. Lewis forces him to give it up. The shot is good. Nice move for Kwame Evans Jr., and it's 11-0 run here for Oregon.
How about Nate Biddle not settling for a tough one and then just dumping it down to Kwame Evans, who's ducking in on Carter Bryant.
Here's Caleb Love penetrating. In amongst the trees, kicks it out. Bradley's turn, and a reach-in foul here from Oregon. Kwame Evans Jr. his first.
Carter Bryant now in the game, a terrific prospect. I left the other game wondering why he isn't a starter, actually.
He played fantastic. Take a look here as this is backing down. You're just seeing Kwame Evans. He's just going to duck in. Could have been a tough fadeaway. Instead, you throw it inside and you get an easy bucket.
Bradley directing traffic. That's a three-pointer, and he knocks it down.
Terrific shot by Bradley, and that's what you have to be able to do as a guard in particular. Use the ball screen, defender goes under, step up and knock down the three with poise.
Only 31% from three on the year, but he is 5 of his last 9 from three.
Biddle backdoor, Shellstad. Oh, he floats it right past the Arizona defenders.
I love Shellstad. I might have to get his autograph if they win this game.
And he is playing his tail off right now. What a cut.
The Ducks have 12 points in the paint. Love looking for something. And TJ Bamba with his first personal. It's time for our AT&T Connected Cam. This is a connected look.
What a pass by Biddle. You invert the offense.
And if you're going to overplay, you just hit that big, and that back cuts the pressure release.
There's numbers around Caleb Love. Here's Carter Bryant, knocks down the three. Boy, he has gotten better and better as the season's gone on.
He's a classic 3-and-D guy. Guard multiple positions, can make an open three. An explosive athlete.
He's shooting it too. 8 of his last 15 from three, playing with a ton of confidence.
And Biddle with the back down, no shot. But Jalen, to your comment, you think Carter Bryant should be a starter for Arizona this year?
Absolutely, and I guarantee as this game progresses, they're going to need his athleticism against the size and the physicality up front.
How about his numbers against Akron? Yeah, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 3 steals, 3 blocks too.
And even now showing the versatility as he's guarding Biddle, able to switch on Evans.
Biddle taps it to himself. Goes
Good
right
help.
at that Wildcat defense, but it's Bradley who whips it away.
Lob.
Bradley takes it himself, can't get the lay-in. Bryant is there for the putback, it pops out. Awaka's turn this time. Arizona just can't put it away.
But that's what you do. Multiple efforts on the glass, square those shoulders, go up, try to get the three-point play.
16th in college basketball in offensive rebound percentage. It's what the Wildcats have done all season long. Tommy Lloyd has to love the effort on that play. Multiple opportunities, multiple efforts from different guys.
First in the Big 12 in scoring. They average almost about 82 points per game. Witness why AEW is the future of the fight. Don't miss the explosive action of All Elite Wrestling's Wednesday night Dynamite Live at 8 o'clock on TBS and now streaming on Max.
At least for Arizona, it's a very pro Wildcat crowd, but you got to give your fans something to cheer about. This has been a great start by Oregon to take the crowd out of the game.
You know, there's a lot of questions with Oregon being the closest team at this site here to the Seattle site. Shellstad rises and fires, hits from 3.
As a matter of fact, I might ask him at halftime for that autograph. He's just a terrific performer, the effort, the productivity.
A much needed bucket for KJ Lewis in Arizona.
Even off a made shot, Oregon's got to get back because KJ Lewis, Jaden Bradley, Caleb Love, they are bringing that thing.
Evans fakes the pass, takes the 3 himself. That one pops out. But yeah, very pro-Arizona crowd here in this building tonight. They travel well. That's something to cheer for.
Forcing the action by Love, and that's what he has to do. Get down below the free throw line, use his strength as a guard, square up and knock down the open shot.
Well, how about his balance there? I mean, you're knocking your defender back, staying on 2 feet and finding a way to get to your little floater.
Bartholomew, quick crossover against Bryant, who was pursuing him. That's a tough 2 to get.
Those straight line drives, they're hard to help. As good as Carter Bryant has been, some of the defensive things that he's still working through as a young player, Oregon taking advantage.
Caleb Love with Jadrian Tracy defending. And Tracy a little bit too much body. Picks up his first. He's getting a little test. You think these guys know each other too well?
I think they're familiar right here.
Oregon and Arizona. Look who it is. We meet again for a spot in the Sweet 16.
Well, Tommy, what must you change or tweak defensively?
Listen, and we made a lot of mistakes early, and every time we made a mistake, they made us pay. It's a long game. You know, we just got to hang in there. You got to hang in there. I mean, there's, 31 minutes and 35 seconds of good basketball to go. We're down 12. Let's see what we can do.
Thanks, Tommy.
Oh, panic here from Tommy Lloyd early. Coming out of that timeout, Awaka, good body control in for 2.
But you can't get turned down in the pick and roll. All your help is with your big. You let that thing get to the other side, it's going to be really difficult to recover.
And now look, it's KJ Lewis, who had been defending Biddle, who's now on Shellstad. Strong take there for Oregon. Can't pay it off by Tracy.
Arizona's defensive posture has improved.
And Love dribbles right into that, but it's an air ball.
If they're going to play pick and roll defense, all your help is to this side of the floor. And look at with that turn down. Now the help comes. You got to recover to Awaka. That's one where if you're the guard, you're guarding Caleb Love. You're pushing him over the top of that screen.
Shellstad just can't get past Lewis. Lewis locking him down the last couple of possessions. Post touch for Angel. Brandon Angel getting wrapped up. Good defense that time by Arizona. It's a jump ball. It'll be Wildcat basketball.
And if you notice, the two guys that got going early for the Ducks on the perimeter are now being guarded by Lewis and Bryant, and they're doing a great job.
Just hanging in right here. Getting that ball. That's a great play by Carter Bryant. Certainly Brandon Angel, he can be a problem down low. Can score it with either hand. You're asking a freshman to guard a guy that's been around a long time.
Yep. What's the luxury of that, right? KJ Lewis and Carter Bryant, two good defenders, especially here in the NCAA tournament, coming off the bench here for Arizona. Got that luxury to play that bench card. Lewis using the Awaka screen, pulls up under control, can't get it. Awaka grabs that rebound for the offensive putback.
Awaka and his physicality is very notable on the offensive and defensive board.
That's why he's 10th nationally in individual offensive rebound percentage. Just gives an incredible effort and is always the most physical guy on the floor.
Part of an 8-2 Arizona run. Awaka, leading rebounder here on the team, probably no surprise. Biddle takes one bump, takes another bump. Awaka wraps him up and it forces another turnover. Arizona's on the move. Caleb Love, the transition, that rims out. Love gets it right back and puts it back.
I love that he did not hesitate to just reload. You don't make it at the rim. Caleb Love, an incredibly confident player. He's had some big games against the Ducks, and he's trying to get started here.
A lot of questions on Caleb Love and how you perform. What do you make of it here so far?
And the fifth-year senior struggled a little bit early. You see the unforced turnover, showing a little frustration right here with the defensive tenacity of Oregon, but then he sticks with it. As they have a 4-on-1 break, they kick it back out to a mid-range, bang. Now you can tell he has a rhythm. Let's see if he has a big game.
Well, Love, part of this, you see the active scores in the NCAA tournament. Love can climb the charts and pass R.J. Davis in this game here tonight. Arizona on a 6-0 run because of this Wildcat lineup that they have in right now, forcing another turnover out of the timeout. Love just snatches it out of the air. Pulls from three, not there. Long outlet pass. And Oregon now, things unraveling here for the Ducks lately.
And Arizona's just playing harder with more tenacity, better communication, and also they put in Lewis and Bryant. So it's going to be interesting to see, even in the second half, they consider starting one, if not both of those guys.
Jalen, you also talked about how you liked Arizona's defensive posture a little bit better. That last steal from Caleb Love, that's the same play Oregon ran to start the game to get that layup for Angel. And you look at what it was. This time they read it much better.
9 points now for Love. His first three-point make. And new life here for the Wildcats. Oregon looking to end a 9-0 run here on this possession. Biddle. Awaka again knocks it away. Biddle's having trouble here in this first half. And another back-to-back turnovers here for Oregon.
Great one-on-one defense by Awaka. And if you're Biddle, you're not going to just move Awaka. You got to find a way to even face up and just try to go by him and get a high percentage shot or a layup.
You think about Caleb Love, coming in, having scored 183 points in the NCAA tournament. He's had the ultimate of highs. He's had some very low lows, but certainly very capable. And you let him get his head up, good luck turning him off.
It's Townsend's turn. Shot to possibly tie it. Here's Oregon. They've been empty on their last 6 possessions, 3 turnovers, a couple of blocks, 0 for 3. Shellstad ends that.
I love the way he's playing. Just so confident right now. Shellstad with 12, 5 of 7 from the field. He's got 2 3-pointers, playing at a high level.
Love with the up fake, challenges against Biddle. Here's Bamba on the move, has Bartholomew. 3-pointer. And a foul on the floor.
Does anybody want to layup anymore?
I literally thinking the exact same thing on the 3-on-1 break.
Dana, Jackson just hit that huge shot to slow down Arizona. What must you stress in that huddle?
Transition D, couple offensive rebounds, got them back in it. They hit some threes. They're a good shooting team. We knew they were going to hit them eventually, but just transition D, couple of offensive rebounds, and a couple bad turnovers we had.
Thanks, Dana.
You bet.
It's really the game within the game. At the beginning, Oregon had an 11-0 lead, stretched the lead out to plus 15. Arizona so far has responded 9-0 run.
And if you're Oregon, you want to try to get Biddle going into this game.
Shelstad doing an unbelievable job to avoid the turnover. Lewis again remains on Shelstad, forces him to whip the pass over to Bamba, takes the three-pointer with the shot clock expiring, and he beats it.
Bamba has struggled with that jumper all season long. Just a 25% shooter from three. And at the end of the shot clock, rises up and drains it.
And sometimes at the end of the shot clock, even if you're a poor or low percentage shooter, you don't have to think about
No doubt.
Oregon now 5 of 8 from three. That was an important bucket for the Ducks, though, to end that 9-0 run here for Arizona. Single digits on the shot clock now for the Wildcats. Bradley gets the bucket.
Terrific job of probing in the half court, using the screen, getting to the middle of the floor, knocking down the mid-range jumper.
Jaden Bradley, 7 total tournament games coming into tonight in his career, the transfer out of Alabama. Biddle's been quiet.
Like, credit to Waka. I mean, he's out there on the hard hedge. He's getting back. The physicality right there. Nate Biddle just not handling it well.
And Waka's a brick wall.
Yes, he is.
So you got to find a way to get Biddle the basketball on the move.
He has tried his best to go chest to chest against that brick wall. Now, to no avail. You see the 3 points and the 3 turnovers for Nate Biddle to open things up here for Oregon. A player who actually Tommy Lloyd had recruited when he was an assistant, a lead assistant at Gonzaga.
There's that drop coverage again. What a pass, though, because Bradley just made the last one. You get the help uphill. He's dropping it off for the jam.
Shelstad again going to work for Oregon, the miss that time. He's 5 of 8 from the field. Lewis on the move. Look at him glide, and a blocking foul call.
KJ Lewis was totally out of control right there. He's a guy that wants to force the issue. One of those guards that will push the tempo. There's that Jaden Bradley, little shot fake. Biddle helps up, and you're dropping it off for the jam. Terrific pass.
KJ Lewis has been really good in the postseason when you consider the conference tournament. He's been Arizona's 2nd leading scorer in 4 postseason games coming into tonight, averaging almost 14 points, 5 rebounds, and leading the team here in free throws made and free throws attempted. From tip-off to the final buzzer, fan work is thirsty work. Refresh with Coke Zero Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever?
Let's see if the Ducks can get a high percentage shot for Biddle, try to get him on the move.
A one-day turnaround for both of these schools. Really don't have to familiarize themselves too much, being old Pac-12 opponents, and meeting for the first time in the NCAA tournament.
But I think, Lisa, from watching some of the interactions, it is clear these two teams are familiar. And it's kind of awesome because in an age of college basketball with so much movement, there's a lot of guys on the floor who have played against each other here.
Bartholomew splits the difference, can't get the bounce. Bradley gives it up to Lewis. KJ Lewis floats it.
The ball moving, player moving, and Waka just clear our bodies in the paint.
Now Lewis gets another chance at it.
Look at that.
Look at Waka
Clearing
go.
our bodies.
Oh, Lewis
man.
just skied for
Effort,
the rebound and the tip in.
athleticism of Arizona. 1 shot, 2 shot. Finish.
Bamba had a three-pointer on the other side, misses that time on the right side.
Arizona will live with that.
Well, sometimes, like my coach once told me, you're up for a reason.
25% three-point shooter. And the Wildcats have the first lead of the game.
What a job by Arizona to fight all the way back. Tough start, but they have responded.
Trailing by as many as 15, another 9-0 run. Bamba gives Oregon the lead right back.
And that's the type of action I'm talking about with Biddle. Use him in a high pick and roll, get him rolling where he can make a play for himself or a teammate.
And that's short roll too. He's got the ability to catch, make a play for himself, drop it off, terrific cut on the baseline. Jaden Bradley caught the tough end of this one there, man.
Got knocked in the jaw, still trying to recover from it. He was bent over just a few seconds ago. And Bamba's not a small guy.
No, he looks like a linebacker. Gotta guard him.
Yeah, Del Orso, one of the better shooters on the team, knocks it home for his first.
That's what gives coaches gray hair. He's literally in the game because he's a knockdown shooter. You leave him wide open, he makes you pay.
I'm not sure Oregon knew what defense they were in.
Anthony Del Orso is the only one shooting above 40% from three in the regular rotation players. Now here's a look for Tracy, corner shot. Lewis nearly lost it. To Awaka, Biddle drawing the contact and an offensive foul call. Tobe Awaka's second personal.
You might want to guard the guy that's shooting 40% from three. Oregon getting their signals crossed, and Anthony Del Orso is cashing out.
Well, Arizona's so good, they out-rebound opponents. It was a Big 12 best, almost 7 rebounds per game. It is a 19-13 advantage. It's something that concerns Dana Altman going into this matchup.
Well, Arizona eviscerated Akron on the glass. Oregon certainly presents a better challenge in that regard, but certainly the Wildcats flexing their muscles, getting on the offensive boards, and getting right back in this thing, Jalen.
Oh, did you say flexing their muscles? How about Awaka? He has 12 of those rebounds. The entire Oregon team has 13. He's doing a terrific job of slowing down Biddle as well.
And he's staying in with 2 personal fouls, too, by the way, defending Biddle right here. But yeah, the 12 rebounds, 6 points. Put back, how about once, twice? Not there for Oregon. And Awaka keeping that alive and tapping it into Bradley's hands. Del Orso then puts it on the deck. Finding Caleb Love inside the paint. Floater not there, too strong. Arizona with 2 separate 9-0 runs. Here's Bamba. Awaka stayed vertical. That one spins around 360 and drops in.
But just enforcing the action the way he did, Bamba goes for the contest, and rightfully so, leaves room for Biddle to do the follow-up.
Biddle's got to work for his points here tonight for sure. He's got 5 points. 3 lead changes, 1 tie. Look at that largest lead for Oregon, and now tied at 35, and there's another lead for the Wildcats.
That shot is there for the Arizona Wildcats. Pick and roll action, getting the free throw line area, try to knock it down.
Shelstad going well removed. You know, right there, he's going so off course that you just let Jaden Bradley walk right into a 15-footer.
Leading scorers are Bradley with 9 and
Good
Love
defense.
with 9. Look at that. Lewis taps it away, off to the races. Bradley with the finish. But that was Lewis creating defensively.
KJ Lewis is a big-time defender at 6'4", 210. He can match the physicality, does just that, and he starts that Arizona break.
It's the 4th block for Arizona.
Oregon's not making Arizona pay. When there are these hard hedges, those bigs have got to get out quickly. That short roll and play.
3 seconds on the shot clock. Biddle has one of those. Was going for a second in and out. And KJ Lewis has definitely made an impact off the bench for Arizona. Here he is again, driving, pump fake, draws the foul.
KJ Lewis just matching the physicality of TJ Bamba. There's the rejection, and now the break is on. Jaden Bradley, this little layup there. Arizona playing to their tempo. Oh, Dikembe.
Rest in peace,
Yes.
Deke. Man, does not fly in the house of Mutombo. former teammate in Denver.
Points, 4 rebounds. And that block you just saw for Lewis. And the free throw falls. Watch live men's games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Download now. And KJ Lewis coming off a really good Big 12 tournament. 15 points, 5 rebounds. He was really good at the free throw line, only missed 3 times, 14 of 17.
Biddle now out of the game, a little bit frustrated, already has 3 turnovers.
Think about the run that Arizona has gone on here. It was 19-4, and they have just totally responded to push this out to 41-35.
Yeah, and this is the largest lead, an 18-4 run, with 5 minutes and counting. Bartholomew. But you could sense no panic. Tommy Lloyd's early interview with Andy Katz, very systematic about the things they needed to correct. And driving, Bradley can't get it. Here's Tracy on the move. Oh,
what a
coming
block.
over. They're going to score
man.
the goal, though, a goaltend.
They're going to take a look at that in the break.
But something to watch there by Carter Bryant. He had 3 blocks, as we mentioned, in the first round. He almost had another one here.
Boy. Carter Bryant is just an incredible athlete. I think you're talking about in the cylinder, though. You know, if that ball is above the cylinder when he gets to it, I don't know. I think that was a good block.
It looks like a good block.
I feels like it was a good block as well. Got his hand in the net, maybe had an impact on the call.
And Carter Bryant with 2 freshmen. Look at this with the numbers that he's put up. And some good company on that graphic. And has just grown and matured as this season has gone on. Love, who's working off the 9 points here so far tonight. I was looking for Vesar, who gets knocked by Brandon Angel, his second. And a 1-on-1 situation here for Arizona.
And look at the jersey of TJ Bamba. That kind of sums up the physicality of this game. That thing is a V-neck in the front.
Oh, wow. He'll thank the rim for that. Coming up on AT&T at the half, scores and highlights and the latest NCAA tournament news. It's all coming up on AT&T at the half. Henry Vesar getting some time. He's waited his time. Last year, only averaged about 7 minutes per game and about 2 points per game. Has increased his role. Mo Krivas, injured in mid-December with a left ankle injury, ended his season. And so more minutes to Vesar here this year. TJ Bamba penetrating so strong, drawing the contact against KJ Lewis. That's his first.
Drive the basketball, force contact. If you love, you got to allow Lewis to continue to play that one-on-one defense, shoot over a contest.
TJ Bamba and KJ Lewis are like looking at the mirror at each other. They're like the same guy. Super athlete, great size, big-time defender. Not great shooters from the perimeter, but that's an intriguing matchup there.
Similar to the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking right there.
Actually, they take the foul from Lewis, give it to Bradley, so it's Bradley's first. 2 shots here for Bamba. TJ Bamba, his first NCAA tournament, his 5th year of college basketball, came via Washington State and Villanova on the all-defensive Big Ten team. He's the best team's defenders, leads the team in steals, and knocks home the second free throw. And Bradley wants the timeout here for Arizona. 30 seconds left to play here in this first half. We are in the East region, which means the winner of this game will take on #1 Duke. Look at the plus 67-point differential. They have just dominated so far in the NCAA tournament.
They've got pros, and they've got one that's going to be a really good pro in Cooper Flagg.
You see at the bottom note there, our first of 2 games with Derek Queen, the freshman, and the buzzer beater. Certainly one of the best NCAA tournament moments here this year. Advances the Terps into the Sweet 16. Big Ten Conference started out this tournament a perfect 10-0. They've suffered some 3 losses here today. Arizona trying to do that to Oregon here tonight. Wildcats seeking back-to-back Sweet 16 appearances for the first time since 2014 and 2015. About a 5-second differential. Yeah, here's Love off the bounce, spinning right into traffic. That was Mookie Cook inserted for Oregon, who just posed himself a duck wall.
How about Mookie Cook, though? Now, he did get some run against Liberty. He hadn't played the 2 Big Ten tournament games. He doesn't get to get on the floor, but what an offensive effort. They put him in there for his length, and he delivers.
Talk about a specialist. Mookie Cook going for a few seconds and doing his job and now taking a seat. And Oregon has 10 seconds to work with on this possession. Jackson Shellstad.
Great help.
Bryant with the quick hands. Carter Bryant launches from half court.
Oh,
man. But it was something to watch.
Add it to the highlight tape. We've seen so much from that dude. You're out here in Seattle.
As I mentioned, terrific 3-and-D guy, clearly after the buzzer. Great attempt.
He's got a lot of ability, no doubt about that.
All right, Jaden Bradley is standing by with Andy Katz.
All right, thank you, Lisa. Jaden, you guys were down 15. How did you flip the script?
Man, our energy guys off the bench. KJ, CB, our bigs, playing phenomenal, getting stops and getting in transition.
This is an intense old Pac-12 battle. What's it like to participate?
Man, it means a lot, knowing the history behind it. We just play as hard as we can and try and get that win at the end of the day.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That was the old Big Ten, Big 12 battle. It is 42-38 at halftime. That's the end of the first half. We'll send you to AT&T at the half. After these messages, you're watching the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship.
I just think also the way that Jackson Shellstad started the game, 12 points, but all of those scored in the first 8 minutes of the half. We'll see if he can turn this thing back around and get going.
Remember, Oregon started, you mentioned it, Robbie, 19-4. That was in the first basically 5 minutes of the game, and Arizona responded, outscoring them by plus 19 with a couple of separate 9-0 runs. There's your guy, Awaka.
Right on cue.
And it's all set there by Del Orso's dribble drive. He takes it down that lane line, help comes over, and he dishes it off.
Tobe Awaka averages 8 points, about 8 rebounds. He's well above that.
Biddle, as a 7-footer, has screening skills. There you go. That's what you need to do. Have him be the screener so that now you get Awaka's body off of his, then he has room to operate.
It's the second on Townsend. Let's check in with Andy Katz.
Well, exactly to the point that you guys were just making. When I talked to Dana Allman as we were walking onto the court, he said it was fool's gold in those first 5 minutes. Everyone thought it was going to be easy, almost like Liberty. I mean, they were taking these shots. Everything was going down. They didn't really need to defend as well early on. And then Arizona got the way they wanted to go, which is up and down, and Oregon was chasing them. And this is exactly what they didn't want to do. So he stressed in the locker room, settle down. Let's get back to the way we want to play.
There's a lot of vets on this team, thank you, Andy, for Oregon, but not a lot of NCAA tournament experience. You've got Evans, Shellstad, Tracy, the only ones who played with Oregon last year in the NCAAs.
I like the fact that Oregon was able to make Arizona pay. If you're going to hard hedge, you got to short roll that thing and get out.
Pombo, the leading steals leader here on this team, just ripped it away and takes it in for 2.
Ain't that all defensive team in the Big Ten? He's got every physical asset you would want in a great defender. Terrific size, active hands, defense creating offense for the Ducks.
And he's giving you 10 points so far this game.
Yeah, that's right at his average at 10.
Taking on this assignment right here. Have to keep Caleb Love in check.
And Awaka sending a good screen, gets it right back and puts it in.
Biddle doesn't want to foul. Picked up those 2 in the first half. Tries to pull the chair out. Awaka, great balance to finish that play off.
Awaka now the 9th double-double of the season for him.
I think for Oregon, they want to put Del Orso in actions, and that's what they did right there with Barthélemy, but he couldn't finish it off.
I would like him to put Biddle in actions to try to get him going.
Del Orso, pump fake, can't pay it off with a 3.
And as a 7-footer, Biddle is so versatile. He could be the ball handler where someone can screen for him. He also can get a cross screen and get him on the post.
Shellstad penetrating, so good at the finish too. And finding that crease, he's got 14. Jackson Shellstad averages about 13 per game. Having a really good NCAA tournament coming off that 17-point performance in the first round. Love pulls and hits from 3. And Caleb Love with his second 3-pointer.
That just unlocks his game when he's making a 3-point shot. Not very efficient shooting from behind the arc, but when he's knocking that down, it just opens up the rest of his game, in particular the mid-range. Here you see stepping up with confidence and knocking down the 3.
And Bamba going under right there. Now, Love is capable. He's scored a ton of points. He's made a ton of threes. You mentioned the percentage, maybe not great, Jalen, but you know that he can get going.
Love nearly with a pickoff. Like a free safety. Angel can't get the 3-pointer. And another rebound for Awaka. He's got 12. Jaden Bradley, as Caleb Love stays inbounds, flirting with that baseline. De La Rosa, what a move,
what a move.
Shoulder shake. Go ahead, Anthony De La Rosa.
How about him in the second half getting to the basket multiple times, wants to drop it off for somebody else, and there, that little spin move, nice take on the baseline by Del Orso.
Bradley with the pickoff, 7 turnovers now for Oregon, and coming over is Angel with the block.
Heat check. Got it again, cornerstone.
Del Orso gets a second chance
ball.
at it. And
Corner
then
pocket.
turns and stares down the Arizona fan base.
And that's why, as a coaching staff, you hated to see him get that wide open one in the first half that he knocked down. Now you have a confident shooter. Terrific play here on the baseline. My guy Smitty, Steve Smith will be proud seeing De La Rosa on the baseline.
Smitty could do that too.
Absolutely.
Jamie, thank you. So Jalen Rose, if we look at this bracket, it could possibly be what? A Michigan State battle for the Final Four.
Well, the whole world know where I would be that day. No question about it. And
Atlanta,
4 other
Georgia?
gentlemen likely will be joining me too. And they're called the Fab Five.
They're testing Del Orso here. Went right at him one-on-one.
Yep. Shake and bake for 2. Ending an 8-0 run.
That's where Dana Altman is so good, is just finding the mismatches that they want to attack and going right at it.
Love taking the contact. Shot won't count, though the whole building wanted it to. And Bamba with his second. Caleb Love, all kinds of love to his head coach, Tommy Lloyd, saying he gave me a second chance at this college thing and lets me be myself.
Well, for as critical as everyone has been about him, he was the Pac-12 Player of the Year last year. You know, he's had some really, really good games at Arizona.
Awaka has been fantastic, outscoring Biddle 14-6, and defensively doing a terrific job of controlling the paint.
He's got a 12-12 game. Biddle takes the contact, count the bucket. And Nate Biddle coming alive. And Awaka with his 3rd personal. Tobe Awaka had done a good job not picking up that 3rd foul until here. Biddle to the free throw line when we come back.
Defensive tenacity against Biddle, which other than the previous play where the guy at the free throw line now has a chance for a 3-point play, it seems like certain plays, Awaka's almost had Biddle tiptoeing around the lane like it's surrounded by an electronic fence.
There's just a lot to like about what Arizona's doing outside of Tobe Awaka. He's been phenomenal, but the Cats, 6 of 11 from 3. They have 10 offensive rebounds, 10 assists to 5 turnovers. They've been tremendous all night long.
Now we're seeing a zone look here from Oregon. Bradley turned away. Here's Bryant coming off the bench, not there. And look at the speed here from Bamba and the strength from Bamba. Nearly got the and one and draws the foul against Bryant, his second.
He makes multiple weight room plays a game where you're just like, this dude is a specimen out here.
Four straight double-figure scoring games headed into the NCAAs. Had 6 points in the first round.
But definitely, Lisa, took him some time to find his way. And that's the case with a lot of transfers. You come into a program trying to find your role, trying to figure out where you fit in offensively. But clearly at the end of the year, T.J. Bamba was playing his best basketball of the season.
Well, he's a guy from the Bronx, and he finds himself in Eugene, Oregon.
Yep.
And he's the second leading scorer here tonight for Oregon with his 12 points, right behind the 14 from Shellstad. And Oregon struggling, just 2 of 8 from the foul line.
Gus going back to this zone here. See if Arizona can navigate.
KJ Lewis, wow, slips a beautiful pass that can't be handled. It was right in traffic.
And without a walker in the game, let's see if Biddle could get going offensively.
Bartholomew pulls up from mid-range and hits.
He's a very good shooter off the bounce from 2. 45% on those types of shots this year. Keyshawn Bartholomew just finding that open space and drilling it.
It's a full circle moment to play Arizona once again for Keyshawn Bartholomew. Had a season-ending ankle injury last year. He dislocated his ankle.
A great contest there by Kwame Evans.
Bartholomew surveying his options, whips the pass to Bamba, passes up the 3, kicks it back out to Shellstad, who will take it and make it.
That's just drive and kick basketball. Touch the paint, spray it to your shooters. Oregon with a real response.
And it also, Arizona looks a lot different with a walker on the bench. Oregon makes big plays without him in the game. Here you see Shellstad from 3.
The old Pac-12 rivals matching up here tonight in Seattle, Washington for a spot in the Sweet 16 and the right to take on #1 seed Duke over in New Jersey at the Prudential Center.
This zone, it morphs. It's a matchup, so you've really just got to run your stuff here. You see Kwame Evans is coming over, but they will pass guys off.
Certainly something that Tommy Lloyd talking about calling that timeout. Caleb Love, a zone buster for 3.
Big time shot by Love with his 3rd 3.
Just set that ball screen and shoot right over the top of it.
15 points now for Love, who averaged last year about 21 points in 3 meetings against Oregon.
Well, let's see if Oregon can get Biddle some confidence offensively.
A different matchup here with Vesar. Biddle can be physical and get him near the rim.
You can tell he likes that one better. Tried the reverse, can't get it. With Jalen, to your point, you got to wonder how long they're going to go without Awaka. KJ Lewis for 3. And a timeout called as Bartholomew was caught in the corner. So Oregon with the timeout with 13:05 left to play in the second half. We will take a timeout with them from Seattle. Mopping the floor.
His activity level is high for mascot.
Yesterday,
he is.
or not yesterday, but 2 days ago, it felt like yesterday, he was spinning on a chair, creating all kinds of havoc for the security people here in the arena.
Long prep time with the late game for him.
That's right. He's been waiting for it. A foul call on Vesar.
Well, Oregon's trying to go right at Vesar with Awaka not in the game. Tommy Lloyd can't believe the call. He felt like Biddle had lost his balance.
Vesar with the 1 point and 3 personal fouls now. Here's another look at it.
We want to try to get Biddle going, as I mentioned. 3 field goals, 3 turnovers so far.
I think that was pretty fortunate for Oregon that wasn't a travel.
It'll be Bryant this time trying to tee up the 7-footer Biddle. Wow, and he does. He's got that long wingspan, knocks it away. Arizona with 8 points off turnovers here tonight. Jaden Bradley.
They like the matchup here. See if he gives it up and gets it back, or if he just takes him to the rim. Great
Great
cut.
cut.
Oh, slips the pass.
Oh,
to Lewis, who misses the touch. Oh, no, they're going to wave it off.
Oh, my. But that's a technical foul. Oh, my goodness.
It's going to be a tech.
It's a tremendous cut here. KJ Lewis has everything on the jam, but wow, what a turn of events.
Yes, mental mistake.
You know, in a dunk contest, that would be something.
Now during NBA All-Star Weekend, if we only could get the players that are competing on Sunday to actually participate on Saturday.
I agree.
Class B technical foul for hanging on the rim. Because there's no team control.
A Class B technical foul for hanging on the rim, and look at the reaction. Are you kidding me?
Well, KJ Lewis has got to just, hey, it happened, now you move on. And you can see how frustrated he is with himself, but I like that Jaden Bradley has come over here and talked to him. He's a valuable piece of this team. He's a big-time defender. Not your best, but you have to move past it.
And the one free throw for the Class B technical foul on KJ Lewis, and Oregon will get the ball.
And then effective Biddle sent to the bench.
And Oregon gets the ball because it's an alternating possession. So that arrow just switched back to Arizona.
Shellstad, another three-pointer. That time it's short. The tip out, and Bradley chases it down. Caleb Love was calling for it cross court. Love leading the way with his 15 points. Drives, drops it off. They score! Pared down, but rise up for the big fella.
They are being active on these hard hedges, and Jackson Shellstad is really just retreating. They're not making Arizona pay for it.
And Tracy sneaks his way in for two and just his second bucket of the night.
What a luxury for Oregon to have guys coming off the bench. Jadrian Tracy, big body, 6'5", 210, all the way to the rim.
Second year at Oregon. Shellstad defending Love. Like that matchup. Love the floater. Float game is pure, and he's got 17 points.
Float on.
Shooting 50%. Supreme Cook now into the game. Oh my goodness,
That's a
Bryant.
goaltend. That was not going to go in.
Once again, Bryant with a goaltend.
Think about Supreme Cook posting up, not really one of his strengths. He's an offensive rebounder. Carter Bryant, this is another mental error by Arizona. It's not going in, and this is 2 points that Oregon steals.
11 minutes to play in this one, 63-57. Time for our AT&T Connected Cam. We go back to the last possession for Arizona.
Well, these empty side pick and rolls are so hard to guard, and you see just the lane that Henry Vasar is going to have here. If you're not early as the strong side low man, and he's barely even in your screen, it's Kwame Evans. He falls asleep. Henry Vasar is up here hanging on rims. A breakdown by Oregon, an easy basket for Arizona.
And that's why when they clear out the top side and you're guarding Love, you want to force that down where you could get help.
Here's Love into the corner. Bradley sidestep, pulls up for three.
Oh, what a rebound.
Well, Carter Bryant gets wrapped up. Going to make him earn it from the free throw line.
Carter Bryant's making himself some money in the NCAA tournament. This dude is balling.
There might be a few people watching.
And the stat line maybe not as, doesn't pop the way it did in the first round, but still just so impactful with defensive plays. And we saw him shoot it on night one here in Seattle.
It's the body build too, right?
Yeah.
He's listed at 6'8", 225. I mentioned his wingspan, like his fingers are dangling down by his kneecaps.
Mine looks like he's 12. So it's like, that's
he's got like the B.J. Armstrong baby face.
Good combination.
Bamba in traffic, somehow finding Cook.
Walker got away with a foul right there.
And Awaka has checked back in out of that timeout. His 13th rebound. Doesn't waste any time picking that up. Love loses it.
He's lost the ball a couple times here.
That was a nasty fall by Love.
Yeah, it is.
He ran into the table.
Good sportsmanship, too, for Shellstad, and as well as Evans Jr. to come over and help him up.
Just a little loose with the handle a couple times. Man, he hit that table hard. You're right, Jalen.
I'll still be down in the fetal position.
Also one of the other reasons why you don't play basketball anymore, right? Love's out of the game right now, sitting on the bench. Bamba takes the contact.
You got Del Orso as the help man, and TJ Bamba, he sees that. He is getting downhill. Smart play out of that pick and roll. When Anthony Del Orso's on the floor, Oregon has tried to target him and put him in these actions.
Bamba and Shellstad have been carrying Oregon offensively. They're going to need more people if they're going to win this game, in particular Biddle.
Think about Biddle, the way that he has played to end the season. 9 of his last 10 in double figures, 18 points, 8 rebounds a game, almost 3 blocks. Has been efficient on the offensive end. That they need more Nate Biddle.
You look at his numbers, though, in his career against Arizona, they're not great. The most that he's played, 17 minutes. The most that he's scored is 10 points. He's 1-3 against the Wildcats in his career. You see his first round numbers against Liberty, 14 points, 8 points here tonight.
Wow.
KJ Lewis rings it up.
And another thing that isn't on the stat sheet for Awaka is an effective screener. Allowed the ball handler to turn the corner, kick out for 3.
How about KJ Lewis, though, knocking down the triple as a 17% three-point shooter.
He can round it up to 18%.
I think they'll still play the percentages for the Oregon
I
Ducks.
think you're right. It'll stay here.
Loose ball here, Jaden Bradley. Did he knock that off the leg of Jadrian Tracy?
Here's Biddle coming for it, the quick spin and hook shot.
It's like you said, Jalen, getting him on the move, getting him away from Awaka so it's not a grinded out type possession. Oregon doing a nice job of moving the big fella there.
And like we saw with Del Orso, hopefully once Biddle watches the basketball go in like that, that gives him some rhythm offensively. He can get himself going.
Biddle's got 10 points, 7 rebounds. Lewis driving, that pops out.
Big contest by Biddle at the rim.
Evans.
Here we go.
Bamba over to Biddle. Look at that pump fake. Gives it back to Bamba for 3.
I want Biddle to shoot that.
Tracy tries to put it back. That gets blocked.
And put it on the floor.
And
Whoa.
numbers aren't favoring Oregon, but Arizona bails them out with the foul.
I want Nate Biddle to shoot it, and Kwame Evans has to just go right back up with it. Oregon incredibly fortunate to retain that possession.
And that's 4 fouls on Awaka. So he'll get subbed out as Vasar checks back in. There's Awaka, there's the foul.
Reaching over the top.
Well, that's actually the straight jacket, literally.
Kwame Evans put himself in a tough spot. You put that thing on the floor, those guards are coming to dig that thing out. Have to keep it high.
Kwame Evans Jr., one of the 3 players who actually do have NCAA tournament experience with Oregon last year, played a couple of games. Lewis will sub out and Caleb Love will check back in. Lewis with his 10 points off the bench. Free throws still have not been kind for Oregon. 6 of 13. Love a deep shot.
Going under again.
Bartholomew using the Biddle screen. Biddle's calling for it. He's been loving this matchup all night long against Vesar. And the hook shot, and he's got 12 points.
The difference between Awaka and Vesar physically, Jalen, is night and day.
Absolutely.
Awaka sitting out with the 4 fouls. Now inside 8 minutes left to play. Arizona's missed his last couple of shots. Evans makes the catch. And Del Arso, his second.
Oregon just not going away. Nate Biddle, they've been waiting for him. He's bringing the boom here on Henry Vesar, getting to that right jump hook. The Oregon Ducks not going anywhere.
Your game summary in a 4-point game. Keep an eye on that free throw story. We're watching a new chapter to the rivalry tonight as we check in with Andy Katz.
Well, I'll tell you, I've covered the sport for over 30 years. One of my top 10 games I ever witnessed. This man right here, Luke Jackson, doing the Oregon radio from the Luke and Luke show, February 19th, 2004 at the old Mac Court. He had 42 and 10 and 187 loss to Salim Stoudemire, who had 37 in number 14 Arizona. What a game, what a rivalry. The late great Lute Olson for Arizona. At that time it was Ernie Kent, the Luke and Luke show. Such a great rivalry between Oregon and Arizona for decades. I hope they can bring it back in the regular season. Luke Jackson right there, one of the all-time greats of Oregon.
Working hard too on the sideline. Hey, you know, when Dana Altman took over this job as the head coach, he said we had to look at Arizona and UCLA and said those are the programs we have to compete against and recruit against. Those are the programs that we have to beat. And he said that, frankly, yesterday, I'd love to play them in the future. Played them 27 times in the last 14 years, and he's like, look, I mean, we travel a lot. We'd love to stay out west if we can.
They go east plenty. So to find some of those games on the West Coast, certainly that would be awesome to make it happen.
Is trying to free up Love. Look at those quick hands by Shellstad. Somehow Love gives it back. Bradley to Vesar. Biddle knocks it away.
Active hands by the Ducks out in transition, 3-on-2 break.
Oregon on a 6-0 run. Bamba thought about the 3 to possibly tie it. Angel reverses it to second side, and the block from Lewis.
They got numbers.
Great rejection. They got numbers.
Vesar back to KJ Lewis, who will finish it off.
Bartholomew lost his shoe.
Starting it on one end and finishing it on the other.
That's an incredible block there. KJ Lewis is beat off the bounce and gets that thing from behind. Bartholomew's shoe comes off, and Arizona takes advantage.
Just got a piece.
KJ Lewis again.
Yeah, Lewis has got 3 of the 4 blocks here for Arizona tonight. Inside 6.5. Biddle going right at Vesar once again. In amongst the trees, and the 7-footer delivers.
A lot more room to operate without a walker on the inside. A couple of mental errors also helped Oregon get back into the game. The Lewis Class B tech on the rim, Bryant goaltend, a Walker foul trouble. Now they're taking advantage.
Now it's Vesar's turn, back the other way, going right at Biddle. Gets his own miss. Will he put it back? He does with the left hand, too strong. Shellstad,
what a
no
pass.
look, what a pass. And Lewis rips it away. Out to Love, oh, Biddle. He nearly had a throw down for the ages.
Well, these plays just are starting to feel the magnitude of this game coming down the stretch. Oregon can't cash in. Caleb Love, you gotta foul him. Otherwise, this is gonna be a jam. But for Nate Biddle, guy that's been in foul trouble tonight, that's his 3rd, so certainly he gets one more. That's something to watch.
Mentioned the relationship between Tommy Lloyd and Caleb Love. Said he gave him a second chance. Lloyd told him, all I told him was, let's go for it. You know, what does that look like? It looks like trusting your habits. Be the guy that's been the player of the year. Be the guy that's led North Carolina to the national championship game. Be the guy that's putting up 19 points here tonight. Lewis just won't. He's like the shadow of Shellstead, but commits the foul.
Well said. The effort is there. The competitive spirit has been terrific by Lewis defensively. Bryant on that side. Also for Bamba, Awaka. Like, these young men are out here playing with such tenacity.
We've addressed this with this matchup in this series between Arizona and Oregon. It has come down to the point total. Arizona wants it a high-scoring game. Dana Altman and Oregon would like to keep it 70 or below.
Well, like Jalen said, I love the effort from Lewis, but you've got to understand that if you're in the bonus, now Oregon misses another free throw, but Jackson Shellstead at 84% from the line, and you don't want to put him there.
6 for 17 from the free throw line are the Ducks.
Well, look at Bamba into the ball, and then
it's Bamba, his third.
Oregon in a better spot foul-wise. That's just the team's fourth.
Robbie, in your opinion, how long before you go back to Awaka?
I would say the under 4. I think at the under 4, as long as you trust it. Now, there's different levels of trust with different players. I think the under 4 is when we'll see him again. What a block.
Kittle blocks Love. Love not intimidated, though, but turned away. Over to Bryant.
Great multiple efforts by Biddle. Great block shot, secures the rebound.
Shellstead frees himself up for the mid-range.
He just can't get picked off right there. And Carter Bryant getting behind on the screen. Vasar not impacting the ball enough. And Jackson Shellstead cashing that thing from 15.
He's got a 20-point game, his 6th of the season.
Wow.
Rattles it in.
And there's that turn down again. You've got to make him use the ball screen.
Another 20-point game for Caleb Love in the tournament, his 4th in his career. 13th 20-point game of the season. Inside 4 minutes.
Little another touch. Great kick out.
Evans Jr. in and out. We've got competing fan base chants going on in this arena. The old Pac-12 rivals duking it out. Vasar for 3.
I would have liked to have seen that get back to Caleb Love. Vasar can make that, 34% on the year, but with Caleb Love making the last one, I'd like to see the ball in his hands.
Agreed.
Shellstead comes back to get it. Bradley defending.
A lot of standing around here.
And with 6
gotta
on
go.
the shot clock, they gotta go. And Bamba with Love steps it back.
Not a good possession.
Lewis to Vasar. Going to give him that shot. Hands off to Love. He saw his opening. And
great
the
hesitation.
down.
And it starts with Vasar not thinking about the 3, doing the dribble handoff, allowing Love to turn the corner. Terrific hesitation. Dunk over the top.
He's been winding up for one of those and finally got it.
You gotta respect the jumper with Caleb Love. So he's flying off this thing. There's the turn down. Shellstad's gotta make him use it. Caleb Love getting it done from 3. And then you got that hesitation and go. Blowing by Biddle. Caleb Love is hanging on rims.
Byington, Jalen Rose, Robbie Hummel with you. You look at the foul trouble. TJ Bamba with the 3 fouls, Biddle with 3. Awaka's the big story, though. With 4 fouls, he's going to sit back down on the bench. Does that surprise you guys?
A little bit. Coaching up Vasar right there. We certainly could see him quickly, but for Oregon, they need a better offensive possession here, and the ball has got to be in the hands of Jackson Shellstad.
Awaka went out with the 4 personals with 8:40 left to play, and Arizona was up 68-62.
Oh, wow.
Bamba! Oh, challenging, hanging in the air. Count the bucket. A body bucket and 1.
What athleticism.
Oh, my gosh, Jalen.
Explosive.
But it's one of those
finish.
It's one of those plays where you get boosted up. I mean, Vasar's going vertical, but TJ Bamba, that's an incredible take.
I'm enjoying the games within the game. Shellstad versus Love, Bamba versus Lewis, Biddle versus Awaka.
Bamba makes good on the free throw. Meanwhile, Vasar, that's his 4th as well. So Awaka with 4 and Vasar with 4.
How about the Caleb Love that we've seen tonight? 24 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, efficient from the field. He's been one of the best players on the floor.
He's got the last 7, too, for Arizona, and he comes around to get the handoff. Between the legs, Caleb Love.
Man.
Oh! We've got the player of the year, Caleb Love, tonight. 27 points.
Well, do you think that Arizona likes this play? It's just that dribble handoff, and you're going to get Caleb Love flying off. Oregon switches it because Bamba's behind. Now it's one-on-one. You got Biddle, who's just a little bit late to the party. Caleb Love has been phenomenal tonight.
He scored the last 10 points.
Call on the floor is Arizona ball.
Arizona head coach Tommy Lloyd's favorite group is the Beastie Boys. And I'm pretty sure he would enjoy and appreciate me saying Caleb Love has been crafty.
He certainly has. We're taking a look at who this is off of. Got KJ Lewis in there, certainly with TJ Bamba swinging too.
Off Arizona.
The call on the court is Arizona ball. Well, they're looking. A good time to bring in our rules analyst, Gene Steratore.
I'm going to go with you guys and say off Arizona. I think they'll come to that conclusion pretty quick. I think you see Lewis last the touch right here. I think the next question they'll be doing now, or next segment, is trying to find when the ball hits out of bounds and what the clock status is when that occurs.
Gene, we really just went to you just to make sure that you were still up on the last tip of the night. So it's good that you're still with us.
Well, thanks, Lisa. I mean, I really just got here, it seems like, about
16
6
hours
days
ago?
ago, so I really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you, though.
Can I ask Gene a yes/no question? Did Queen travel on that game winner in the previous game?
I got a 50-50 chance. I'm sorry?
Did Queen travel on the game-winning shot in the previous game?
Now, I spoke to it down in the studio here a little while ago. To me, listen, by rule, the dribble doesn't end until you have firm possession, and in most cases it's with both hands on the basketball, right? Not just a little clutch with the left hand because it could be bobbled. And when you look at it that way, and indeed when possession takes place, it's just a good step and a half.
We're asking about Derek Queen's game winner in our first game with Maryland. Winning that one, and they did reverse, so it's Oregon basketball with 1:49 left to play.
I'd like to see some action with Shellstad and Biddle.
Watch him to the strong side corner. Oh, my goodness.
Toss it away. Bradley with
Lob,
the pickoff.
lob.
With the
Oh, whoa.
Someone's got to finish that off.
Boy, just be solid if you're Arizona right there. What a swing.
What a sequence. And now it's a 4-point game.
You got Caleb Love running. You've got KJ Lewis running. You just have to score it. It doesn't matter the style points at this point in the game. You cannot make that error. And it's multiple times tonight, Jalen, where we've seen Arizona just not capitalize and not be solid.
There was no communication between Lewis and Love on that.
Well, if you Lewis, you got to let Love get it. He was running the lane. He was on the outside.
Oh, my goodness.
And Bradley's getting wrapped up. Here's Love. Shovel pass. Vesar gets hammered by Bamba.
The difference in those two plays. Right.
That's what I call learning from your mistakes.
That's true. Nice play by Caleb Love of driving it hard at Biddle. You get him to commit, you jump stop and you dump it off. You send Vesar to the line. You said the thing about the gray hair. I mean, think about this.
Miss a lob on one end, two guys, very athletic, and give up a 3 on the other side.
Door still open. Arizona 10 of 15 from the foul line. The first free throw missed this half.
I would like to see a walk in the game, especially defensively for Arizona, especially at this point of the game.
Missed them both. But Arizona keeps it, a gift.
They're going to take a look at this.
James Breeding, DJ Carstensen, Matt Potter, your officials.
I think that hits Biddle's hand last.
It's ruled Arizona basketball.
KJ Lewis is 4 for 12 from the floor. He's had a couple mental errors, but you could never fault his defensive effort and what he brings as it relates to hustle plays, communication defensively. He's been such a catalyst for this Arizona team today.
You can count on his effort. You're absolutely right, Jalen. He brings it every time he's on the floor.
Gene Steratore, you still with us?
I wouldn't leave you guys. Are you kidding me? This is a great game. No way. I'm with you, though. It looks like it's clearly off Oregon.
Yeah.
And look, I get sometimes we get frustrated with the multiple reviews, but you know what? As an official, I can tell you with the use of this, you don't want to assume anything, even though your eyes are telling you pretty much you're 99% right. You just don't want to run the risk, you know, and you've got to take that look because it's there. I just hope we get to a place where we can do it a little more expeditiously when we can see it after one quick shot or two quick shots.
What would be the reason for taking this long? Is it a timing consideration with these guys?
Yes, Lisa, that's exactly what it is. They're trying to find a shot that shows them that clock above the backboard when that ball is touching, as we see right there, out of bounds. And so they're trying to make sure that they get everything right, because as we saw in the Maryland game, 1 second can be the difference between a win or a loss.
Well put, Gene. Thank you.
After review, the call on the floor stands, white ball.
James Breeding. And so it'll stay Arizona basketball.
Lewis Hustle creating another possession for the Wildcats.
1:19 on the game clock. The shot clock resets at 20.
See if they go to that same dribble handoff play. Caleb Love is back in the corner. Here it comes.
Yeah, here is Caleb Love, 6 on the shot clock. Gives it up to Bradley. He pulls from the elbow.
That was almost offensive goaltending there on Vesar.
Unless Walker's injured, I'm shocked that he's not in the game right now.
And Biddle will take it, though. Again, going right at Vesar.
It's almost as shocking as the legend Rick Pitino not having his best player in the game the last 4 minutes last night.
Arizona calls a timeout.
Jalen, it's just a different level of physicality that Biddle is seeing. He's getting whatever he wants right here. That strong right jump hook. We've got ourselves a ball game.
The timeouts is where my eyes go. No timeouts left here for Oregon, who trails by 2. Arizona just used one of its 2 remaining timeouts. And the Wildcats trying to protect that 2-point advantage. Again, a date in New Jersey with the #1 seed Duke is on the line. Vesar, we haven't seen him since 8:40 when he picked up that 4th personal. Bamba now with 4. And Vesar playing the entire way since Awaka went out with the 4 personals.
And I thought the adjustment from Dana Altman there, certainly Caleb Love has had a lot of success with that dribble handoff play. They trapped it. They got the ball out of his hands. You force a tough mid-range. 49 seconds to go. Oregon plays this out on defense. I think it has to be Caleb Love's time again. And I don't know if you run the same thing because of the trap, but you have to understand that if you're going to run pick and roll, the play is not going to be for him. It's getting to the big quick and playing from there.
Arizona's going to have to go the distance. 49 seconds to play in this one. The Pac-12 rivalry renewed. Gets it into Bradley, who gets double-teamed immediately.
Oh, wow.
And it's going to be Ducks basketball.
That's the last place you want to inbound the basketball in the corner. The Ducks do a great job of double-teaming without fouling, force a turnover.
Well, and they understood only 5 team fouls on Oregon, so you could be ultra-aggressive right there. It's just the coffin corner, like you said, Jalen. Jalen Bradley, there's nowhere to go. There's the deflection, and it looks like it's clearly off of Jaden Bradley's right hand.
And, Gene, I agree with you. The officials want to get it right, except we don't have to wait 45 minutes for this one.
Well, and what advantage Oregon. They get to draw up a play here.
Yeah, from the sideline. Oregon's got some options. The 9th turnover here for Arizona in this game. What's your best bet of where they go?
I want to see the ball in Shellstad's hands. Now I will say, if it's going to be Vesar out there, Biddle has had a ton of success with him. So certainly those 2 guys have been Oregon's guys all season long. Depending on matchups, Dana Altman can pick and choose where he wants to go.
Absolutely put those 2 guys into action, possibly get Bamba slashing if there's a double team. See if he can make a play for himself or a teammate.
Yeah, the Awaka Vesar sub has been interesting here to talk about. If you do insert Awaka, he's cold, right, for the last 49 seconds here to play.
But there's also so many things he brings to the table. He's a great screener. He's a great post-up defender. He's a terrific rebounder, and he has a double-double. He's had a terrific game. I'm just shocked that he's not been back in since he got
it's not like he's cold for his shooting. He's just got to go out there and play hard. Now, it's Vesar on the floor, so I wouldn't be surprised if it is a post-up for Biddle, but it could be Shellstad on the perimeter as well.
2 to tie, 3 to take the lead. It's Bamba taking it out from the sideline.
Wow. Oh, my
it's a dangerous
goodness.
play. Love nearly picked it off.
Well, you're going to look at this too?
I mentioned this on Friday.
Yes,
We've seen a few teams try to execute that long pass. A guy like Love was ready to steal it for a layup late in the game.
We have some catastrophic errors on both sides inbounding the ball here. This hand grenade is thrown up. Great play on it by Caleb Love. Boy, the question is, though, does Keyshawn Bartholomew hit his arm? Because that wouldn't be the ball. They can't call it a foul. But he does. He hits his. This is going to be a really interesting review. Obviously, you can't re-officiate the play. Does Bartholomew hit the ball, or does he actually just foul him, and that causes the ball to go out of bounds?
Since they can't call a foul, it looks like it's off Love.
Wow. When you think about in the NBA, it would be more of a challenge, but we don't have challenges in college.
All right, Gene Steratore, you're getting your money's worth here down the stretch.
Well, we're gonna save it for the end here, Lisa, and then just stack them real quick. But I'm with you guys. It clearly looks to be off Arizona, and yes, is there a hand on that wrist and potentially something there that could be deemed a foul? It looks like a foul right there, right? because you're on the wrist, but clearly off Arizona.
And Gene, in the NBA, that would be called a foul. They could re-officiate that play. Do you see maybe, hold that thought. Here's the announcement.
Ball on the floor stands, green basketball. The game clock will be reset to 44.7 seconds.
Just curious if college basketball would eventually go that direction.
I hope so.
I was just curious if Arizona was ever going to put Waka back in the game.
Well, he has returned.
Your answer is with 44.7. Remember, he went out with 8:40 left, and Arizona had a 6-point advantage.
Waka back in. I want this dude making the play. It's Jackson Shellstad's turn to make a play for Oregon.
Bamba driving, lowering his head, looking for the spin, looking for the tie, can't find it.
And of course, Waka gets the rebound. I don't like that attempt by Bamba.
14th rebound by Waka. And it's Shellstad who fouls to stop the clock with 25.9.
Bamba's having a really good game offensively. He has 17 points. However, at that point, you got to get the basketball to Shellstad and Biddle and allow them to make a play.
Well, I'm okay, Jalen, with the initial. If you think, all right, we're going to try to get Bamba straight line drive. If you have it off the drive, I'm for it. But the second you're stopped, spray it out. You still have time. You know, the shot clock isn't at 1.
But he's also being guarded by KJ Lewis.
No doubt. You've got their
defender as well.
One of their better guys defensively. Arizona's got to be strong with the ball. They've got to be smarter. And the last time we saw Oregon pick up, they caught the ball in the worst possible spot.
It's KJ Lewis as the inbounder. You got 3-point shooters out there and a smaller lineup here for Arizona. They get it out to Love.
One pass before he fouled.
There you go.
Well done by Caleb Love. Went and got the ball, was strong with it, and looked up the floor.
Drama down the stretch here between these two old Pac-12 rivals, now with the Big 12 and the Big 10. And it is not disappointed.
You want Jaden Bradley at the line, 83% on the season.
Three-point game. Again, no timeouts left for Oregon. One timeout left for Arizona. That could have been a big one for Arizona, just a 3-point deficit. No timeouts for the Ducks. Shellstad. Oregon trying to hunt down that 3. No, Shellstad gets the quick 2 with 10.6. It's a 1-point game.
Have to foul if you don't get this steal right away. Oof.
And it'll be Arizona using its final timeout. Well, Tommy Lloyd wants to be certain as you can be with the inbounds.
Jackson Shellstad coming off that screen, doing a great job. Arizona doesn't want to foul. They don't want to give up a 3, so he burns it to the rim. 10 seconds to go, still plenty of time. Shellstad's had quite the ball game here. 22 points, 9 of 14 from the field, knocked down 3 triples. Big time player.
Well, you got 3 guys for Arizona, Bradley, Love, and Lewis, who are 80% or better free throw shooters. You got Carter Bryant. If it's the same lineup going out there, it's a 67% shooter, and Waka is a 68% shooter.
Well, if you're Arizona right now, you're communicating, we do not have any timeouts left, so you can't take it. You have to go and want the ball in this situation, and it's got to be your best shooters. It's got to be Love. I know we just saw Bradley miss. He's been good on the year, certainly KJ Lewis, but this is where you see who really wants the ball at this point in the game.
And Del Arso is subbed in place of Waka. So another shooter out there for Arizona, who, by the way, are 1 for their last 4 at the free throw line. Love goes down. Del Arso gets fouled. He is almost a 90% free throw shooter.
Look like it's setting up for a fantastic finish.
Well, this is where Arizona's got to be talking, Jalen, about do you foul? 9 seconds to go. You're starting to get into that window. Regardless of what you decide, the most important thing, and really the only thing, is you're on the same page.
Del Orso, the Campbell transfer. Look at the free throw percentage. They came in because he's a shooter. And a clutch situation here.
Good to see him get his confidence back in today's game. Has an opportunity to get his 10th point.
Jalen, he struggled heavily in that first one, and then you watch the Big 12 final against Houston, he really struggled.
Makes it a three-point game. Neither team has a timeout, so Awaka subs out. Del Orso does his job. Oregon is 2 for 8 from 3 in the second half. Shellstad
Good foul.
has the ball. Bradley fouls. 5.7. Not even going to give him a chance to try a three-pointer. And Shellstad is 1 for 2 from the foul line tonight. Two free throws.
Got your big rebounding lineup in here now with Vesar and Awaka. Just in case Shellstad tries to miss this intentionally.
And Shellstad makes good on the second. Del Orso now will check out Awaka. Chess match continues with substitutes here between these two head coaches.
Arizona be strong with the basketball, make quality decisions, hit your free throws.
Again, neither team has a timeout. It's
Oh
Lewis
my
moving on the
man.
baseline. Del Orso will head back to the free throw line.
Great job by Del Orso of going and getting that thing. That's getting deep in the count. As the inbounder, you're starting to feel that discomfort. Del Orso just breaking away and finding an open space.
Lewis doing a good job not panicking.
Land just kind of staying in the middle. If he really takes that to the right side, it's going to be hard to get back to Del Orso. You almost wonder if both these go down, does Oregon look at trying to throw it into the front court to take away the ability to foul?
Absolutely.
Hits the front end.
It's a great time for a hook and ladder.
That's right. That's what you'd be looking for.
A spot in the Sweet 16 to face #1 seed Duke is on the line.
But you can tell the Ducks aren't throwing it long because they have all of the players lined up.
We're going to get a stoppage. We'll see if Kwame Evans looks to throw this to the front court, because it does make you feel like you don't want to foul there.
And Arizona not guarding the inbounder. Evans.
Like I said, it doesn't look like they're going to throw it long.
Shellstad's on the move. Love. Oregon saying it's a shooting foul. James Breeding doesn't agree. A foul on the floor.
And he's clearly not into his shooting motion upwardly at the time of the foul.
I think the Ducks just ran out of time.
You almost wonder if he has to miss the second one now. 3.9.
Yes.
Crazy things happen in the NCAA tournament.
I wouldn't mind having Bryant lined up on the same side as Biddle with that athleticism.
Well, if they do miss, you have to watch for Oregon crossing out. There you go.
Ball's loose into the hands of Love.
Doing a great job. securing the basketball late.
Arizona can smell it.
Well, he clearly intentionally tries to miss this here. Nice job by Arizona, just building that wall and blocking out.
Caleb Love, his 27 points, an excellent free throw shooter. Has a chance to ice it for Arizona.
He's been phenomenal tonight, Lisa. There's always questions about Caleb Love, but the way he played, he was a blend guy the first day for Arizona. He was an alpha tonight.
And his offensive game hit different when he's knocking down threes.
No doubt.
5 of them on the evening.
Second highest point total in the tournament. 29 points for Caleb Love. And that'll do it. Arizona, the Wildcats, take care of an old rival and say hello again to the Sweet 16.
Look.
Back-to-back for the Wildcats in the 21st Sweet 16 appearance since 1975. 87-83 the final.